Welcome to Comics League Indie Wednesday. I'm Jared, and today we are going to discuss I'm going to discuss something other than a comic book right now because I still have to read the comics, but I did watch the show. I'm talking about Invincible, the Invincible animated series from Amazon Prime, based on the comic book series Invincible by Robert Kirkman. First off, I just want to say this show is like one of the funniest parodies of the DC universe I have ever seen. So basically what the show is, it's it's just that it's a parody of the DC universe. So the first episode is like the Justice League or the Guardians of the Globe show up, resolve a situation in the White House, then they go to their separate lives. Then they get called to their headquarters, and the Superman character turns on them like that and starts killing everyone. So immediately I'm like, oh, this is interesting. This is something that I definitely want to see more of. They grab my interest because I had never read the comics, so I didn't know that was coming. So it turns out, so Omni-Man is basically the Superman like character, and like he's strength, flies, and all that stuff. But it turns out, here's the twist on his origin. He was sent to conquer instead of being sent to like serve and enlighten the inhabitants. He is sent to conquer. So that is actually really a cool twist on the Superman mythos. Another thing I like about this, so the main protagonist, is Mark Grayson, Omni-Man's son, who gets his own powers and calls himself invincible. What's cool about it is basically a Superboy show because he's the son of Superman. He goes to do the Superboy. In a way, it's heavy if you're watching. In a way, he is a super son, if you will. I'm going to make all those puns. And then he joins, which he basically joins their version of the Teen Titans, and it's really funny. It's called it's the Teen Team, and I'm like, what? This is so weird. It's cool. I like it, but it's like I did not see that coming, and I just it's really funny, and I love how everyone's trying to figure out who killed the Guardians of the Globe. I'm going to call them the Justice League because it's easier for me. Then there's this whole mystery throughout the entire series. You start to see him be evil, more brutal, and then because originally you would think in the series, oh man, it must have been mind control because the way the first episode ends after he slaughters the Justice League, he just faints. So originally you think, okay, maybe someone took over him. It took over his mind. But then you start to see he's starting to hide stuff from his family. And then there's this one point he goes to another planet and just wipes out the inhabitants, like full send, wipes them out. It's really weird. So then what's cool is they have their own version of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is called the Global Defense Agency. And there's so much of this that is very clearly making fun of the DC universe and the fact that we have the Justice League. And they're literally the Justice League. You have the Superman character, you have the Wonder Woman, the Flash, the Green Lantern-esque character, but the Aquaman one is just a fish man. Batman is just, Batman. So that kind of explains it. And I definitely like, because eventually Mark finds out about his father's true mission, and it leads to this epic fist round of fisticuffs throughout the world. And there's this brutal scene. By the way, this show is very bloody and brutal. There's a scene where Omni-Man takes Mark, holds him up, and lets a train run into him, and you can see all the people getting like torn apart by this immovable force. It's bloody as hell, as I would imagine these DC heroes would be in real life. And then we get to, and then so the way Mark finds out is one of the Justice League members, if I'm still calling him that, is basically an immortal dude who is revived, and then he obviously has a memory of what Omni-Man did to them. So he goes and gets payback, and then Mark arrives because he thinks his father is fighting a monster and he's going to die. Mark arrives just in time to see Omni-Man tear apart, actually kill the Justice League member, which I believe his name is. It's the Immortal. That's who it is. And yeah, exactly. He just kills him, which is I'm like, oh, this is dope. And then that starts the fight. This leads to the meme of like, think, Mark, think. There's so many cool characters that show up, and I like how they do the costume is that you come to this one dude. They actually explain where superheroes get their costumes from. It's like you go to this one dude and he makes it for you, kind of like when you're going to like a tailor or something like that. He tailors your own suit. So the point is that when I'm watching this, and I really hope there's going to be a next season, watching this, I'm like, okay, this could be one of the best animated series in superhero dumb. Probably because, for one thing, it's not afraid to show brutality, and that this is what happened when these superheroes would actually like exist in real life. I like when they do that. That's why one of the many reasons why I'm a huge fan of the Snyderverse. But obviously, I have to bring up the Snyderverse in every video I put out. But going back to what I was talking about, I like when they show like realistically what these characters are capable of, because that's always been something that's very much interested in me. Then I really like how I like all the references to DC without like explicitly saying DC. Like Omni-Man is definitely like Injustice, Superman. Mark is definitely Superboy. They basically have like tons of stand-ins, and Lord knows the team is essentially the Teen Titans. So it's one of my it's definitely fantastic. If I had to rank my animated shows that I love, it's Justice League / Justice League Unlimited. I count them as one show because they're a continuation. Then it's Young Justice, and then it's this. It's like my third favorite superhero show of all time. It's fantastic. You guys should watch it. It's on Amazon Prime. You can watch it as many times as you want. And then get the comics. If you guys like this, I will definitely review the comics. Start reviewing the comics. I need to pick up a couple of volumes, and then we'll do that. Now, that's where I'm going to leave it. I hope to see you all on Saturday when we do Snyder Saturday, where we're talking about Wonder Woman. In other words, what we're doing is we're talking about any DC movie that Snyder has been a producer on, screenwriter, or director. That's what we're counting as Snyderverse. Unfortunately, that may not include Aquaman, but we're going to go with it's Man of Steel, BVS, Wonder Woman, and Zack Snyder's Justice League. We don't count the Suicide Squad or the Studio Squad because that only counts if there's the Ayer cut comes out. Once that comes out, then we can cover that. Now, so we're going to do a stream where basically what we do is we talk about Wonder Woman. We talk about like our favorite scenes in the movie. We go through it scene by scene. And then what we'll do is that after our discussion for the last 15 minutes, which you guys will do, and I talked about this on today's live stream on Henry Cavill Superman, I'm going to put my Twitter in the public chat, and then you guys just shoot me a DM, and the first 3 people to do that will be allowed on the show, on the panel for 5 minutes each to give their brief thoughts on Wonder Woman. That's the way we're going to do that, because that way it doesn't prolong the episode longer than it has to be, and that way it's not as disruptive to the general conversation. So I'm trying that out. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I can't wait to talk to you guys. On that note, I'm going to call this one, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I will see you in the next Indie Wednesday. Bye-bye, everyone.